Hey guys, I'm back. Back for some more. Today, we're gonna talk about human cloning. What a topic. Alright? Now, this is about the Illuminati's secret celebrity, murder, and cloning centers. Now, most of you probably never heard about this. And if you didn't, you're not alone, because I just heard about it not that long ago either. Now, let me start off by saying that everything that I'm about to say, these are not my opinions. This is just the information I've been given. So, whether it's true or not, I really don't even know. You guys can be the judge. But anyways, and on top of that, let me just say that no disrespect to Queen Elizabeth. Because, like I said, no disrespect to Queen Elizabeth. This is just what the information I've been given. Alright, so let's just get into it. Have you ever noticed that sometimes a certain celebrity seems ever so slightly off? Maybe it's an errant beauty mark, or the fact that their eyelids have begun to blink sideways. You can feel it in your heart that something's just not right. That's because your darling idol is dead. Don't worry though, because before they were killed, your favorite celebrity was cloned. That's right, you heard me, cloned. Which means that unlike Paul McCartney, who was simply replaced with a look-alike, countless incarnations of your dearly departed could be walking among us for centuries to come. Wow, that's some fucked up shit. I mean, actually, I don't even know if that's messed up or not. That's whatever. Technology, right? So, I mean, like I said earlier, do I know if this is true or not? Honestly, I have no fucking clue. It could be true. With the technology, they already cloned a sheep a long time ago. We all know about that. But I mean, now they're talking about human cloning, and apparently it's nothing new. Apparently they've been doing this since like 1949 or something like that. I don't know the exact date. So yeah, how do we know this? Why would anyone let this happen? And, well, a man named Donald Marshall apparently has the answers. So it all starts up with Queen Elizabeth. Yes, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, like I said earlier, no disrespect towards Queen Elizabeth. These are not my opinions that I'm about to state. I'm just reading the information given to me. Do I know if it's true or not? No damn clue. So as he revealed on Facebook, Donald Marshall, a clone himself, is an otherwise normal guy who had the bad luck of finding himself in a so-called cloning station run by Queen Elizabeth. When Marshall was born, his family was already living in the cloning center. Yet in all his writings and interviews, he never specifies exactly why his family lived in this clandestine Illuminati palace in the first place. Details. Still, Marshall's discussions on the matter have been extensive. A Google search for Donald Marshall cloning brings up about 230,000 different results, many of which weren't even written by Marshall himself. Nearly every clone-related conspiracy blog out there has discussed him or his tale, and it's hard to find a video that makes mention of celebrity cloning without alluding to some aspect of the Donald Marshall canon. The basics of his story, which do occasionally shift, goes something like this. During his time at the cloning station, Marshall discovered that the entire operation is run by a collective consisting of the Freemasons, a group called the Vril Society, and of course, Scientologists. This secret society supergroup is what we know today as the ever-elusive Illuminati. Members of the Illuminati, which naturally include all the G20 world leaders, typically meet in subterranean bunkers. The very same bunkers that, according to Marshall, house what has become a highly lucrative network of celebrity cloning farms. The cloning part of the operation didn't actually start until sometime after World War II, at which point, as Marshall explains, the political people started bringing movie stars and musicians there to hang around with them. Yeah, apparently because it was getting boring, that's what they said. They can control who remembers the cloning facility and who will remain oblivious, even though not remembering still damages you. These are his exact words. Some of these clones are used for mere entertainment value, gladiator-style wrestling bouts, sexual perversions, Illuminati ritual sacrifices, what have you. Wow, that was one hell of a burp. Others are kept as precautionary measures should the clone's original ever need a new liver. If you saw 2005 sci-fi flick The Island, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. Because in a fit of hubris, The Island was produced by none other than the Illuminati themselves. Organ harvesting is the least of your worries as a clone though. In his original tell, Marshall explained, the royal family of England, yes, Queen Elizabeth, Philip Duke of Edinburgh, and Prince Charles are the worst of them. Unbelievable, depraved perverts, all showing off for the celebrities that go there. Elizabeth has the children there call her Lilibet and does ungodly things to them. Some she fakes being nice to, some she is terrible to, cutting them with swords while they scream. The decent people that are there against their will are afraid to say anything against them. Most have their children there as a kind of hostage, to be torn apart if they even think of informing anyone. Now let me just pause for a second. I know this shit sounds just like fucking crazy and retarded and shit, but you can do the research. There's a lot of stuff out there about this. I mean, what I'm telling you guys is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. So just go do your own research, and I'll just let you know about what I know so far. So, continuing. Most have their children there as kind of a hostage, to be torn apart if they even think of informing anyone. But as they have been torturing me terribly, I will tell all. Vladimir Putin loves to put the fear of torture and death into people, but is essentially a cowardly pervert himself. Most of the famous people are ashamed to speak or be seen by me. They're very much as they're ashamed of the perverse and disgusting gatherings. I am a decent person and will not participate in these acts, so they use me as an example and torture me for me being a good person. Just like with twins or real dolls, if you torture a person's clone, the original will feel it and might even undergo physical damage. Each new clone decreases your mental capacity as well. Damn, that kind of sucks. So the more clones made, the easier that person is to hurt or subdue. Two of Queen Elizabeth's favorite pastimes. And as all the pros know, if you really want to keep someone under your thumb, all you have to do is kill the original copy. Clones are notoriously obedient, which apparently comes in handy when you need them to churn out a single after hit single. Don't take my word for it, just ask Avril's clone, or any of the other high-profile clones below. Okay, so the first one, Britney Spears. Apparently, according to this, Britney Spears is dead. That is, assuming the now defunct but accessible website BritneyIsDead.com isn't lying to us. Because back in 1998, right before dropping the now classic Rock opera, Baby One More Time. Britney and Justin Timberlake got into a particularly nasty car accident that resulted in severe burns on Justin's part and an unfortunate case of decapacitation on Britney's. Justin is still in a coma. His clone roams free. Because pop stars must have heads, the label was forced to find a Britney Spears stand-in. This is where the stories begin to diverge. BritneyIsDead.com claims that the label's producers went to the mall and found a young lookalike named Britney Shears. This seems unlikely and leaves us with only one possibility. Donald Marshall was right. It was time to clone Britney. Over the years, plenty of Britney clones have come and gone, which would explain her many emotional ups and downs. According to Marshall, though, at any given time, there are at least 2 to 5 backup clones waiting underground for their turn in the spotlight. Whew, that would suck. Like any clone, the Britney copies are not at all happy with their lot in life. I mean, I wouldn't too, waiting underground for my turn in the spotlight. So in 2009's Break the Ice, one of the songs written for Britney by Donald Marshall during his time as a pop clone lyricist, she managed to sneak in some hints at the reality of her situation. This included an accompanying animated video that depicts her blowing up an actual cloning center. And according to Marshall, the tubes detailed in the video look exactly like the real tubes in a cloning center. Why Queen Elizabeth and the rest of her Illuminati cohorts would allow a menial clone to expose the secrets of their arcane operation, however, remains a mystery. Next on the list, Eminem. Okay, so I guess they're trying to say Eminem is a clone too, so I don't know. There have been long rumors that Eminem checked himself into rehab after a drug overdose in 2005. He even said a few years ago that he nearly died at one point. He used the word nearly, of course, because one is survived by innumerable copies of one's former self. One can never really be dead. When Slim Shady reached worldwide phenom status in the late 90s, the Illuminati approached him, as they do with all up-and-coming superstars, to see how willing he would be to join their gang of ultra-powerful miscreants. Shady foolishly declined and was thus sent off to meet his demise in a fatal car crash. Or as far as the rest of the world was concerned, Eminem went to rehab. Of course, no clone is perfect. The video below, which is available for download, goes so far as to point out the vocal disparities between the original Eminem and his counterpart. And if that hadn't convinced you, the shirting hairline surely will. And like noted, clone Al Roker, Eminem's clone once suffered a glitch on live television and nearly gave himself away in the process. No doubt, that clone was killed immediately after the interview aired. Embarrassing. Miley Cyrus. Okay guys, so let me just pause for a second here. So, to explain this really briefly and as simply as possible, it's basically like this. When they're saying they clone you, it's basically they have the celebrity. This is as much as I understand so far. They have the celebrity and, they just go and fucking clone them, okay? In a cloning center. The details, I don't know how they do it. But anyways, they just clone the motherfucker. And then they clone them, right? And then they got copies. They got copies of them. They got 1, 2, 3, multiple copies of these motherfuckers, okay? So they can use them. And maybe in case something happens to them, in case, I don't know. So just they got copies, okay? Don't ask questions, motherfucker. And anyways, so they got copies of them so they can control them, right? So they can control them. They want to control them, okay? They want to make money. They want to control them, control the media, control people. So what they do is they got the clones, okay? And then, if that motherfucker fucks up and says something, spills the beans, spills the motherfucking beans, right? If he spills the fucking beans, well then, they gotta kill that motherfucker. They gotta replace him. So here's the thing. There's something called replacing, right? So when you hear the term replacing, that means they got your clone, they kill you, and then your clone replaces you, bitch. So you've been replaced, bitch. Your clone takes over. So now there's a new you, okay? And I mean, they claiming even Obama, Barack Obama, the president, they're claiming even he was cloned. There's pictures on the internet that show, pictures of him and it's showing the differences and this and that, and even he's cloned, political figures, celebrities, especially celebrities, basketball players, all of that shit. So they got clones of them. And yeah, I'm just gonna continue reading this article, and but that's basically how that whole replacement thing works, okay? So if you fuck up, motherfucker, you gonna get replaced, so you better not talk, okay? You better not talk. You better keep it a secret, because you can't let the world know about this, because your shit gonna hit the fan, alright? Anyways, Miley Cyrus. Back in 2010, as with all incurably rebellious teen sensations, Disney had Miley Cyrus killed and dumped her remains in the California desert. There are two different possible reasons for this. One theory states that in the months before her accident, Miley leaked nudes, smoked salvia, and wrote in a song that she was hot, which is to say, Miley Cyrus had become a national disgrace. To save its brand, Disney's was left with only one option: murder. The other theory, and the one outlined in the image above, see what I was talking about before exactly. So even if you speak, but not only if you speak, if you fuck up and do something that ruins the brand or the image, or do something that's gonna stop the income coming to them, stop that money flow, then you probably gonna get killed. So like I said, you better not fuck up, okay? The other theory, and the one outlined in the image above, alleges that Miley Cyrus refused the sexual advances of various Disney executives, her father included. After realizing that Miley intended to remain steadfast in her decision not to partake in their blood orgies, a Disney higher-up beat her up, left her for dead, and brought in the clones. Okay? So yeah, I mean, obviously you guys heard about those rituals and those fucked up rituals they do, drinking blood and sexual perversions and fucked up shit like that. Okay, so that plays a role too. They do that type of shit. The Miley Cyrus conspiracies actually go even deeper than the rest. This video claims to contain proof that Miley Cyrus is a confirmed Draco-reptilian shapeshifter, shapeshifter hybrid. Note the eyelids. Wow, now I don't know what the hell they're talking about there. Okay. Either way, whatever did end up replacing Miley is far more malicious than your typical clone. This Miley is mean. Allow Marshall to explain. Okay. So Donald Marshall, this is So anyways, Donald Marshall, if you guys don't know who he is, I mean, I just did a little research. I don't really know much, but this is apparently the main speaker about this whole Illuminati cloning, where celebrities are being cloned and all of these things in the cloning centers. He's the dude. He actually was there. Okay, he firsthand experienced it. He's the one who's speaking. He's the one who's giving out all the information. He's the head honcho. He's the main guy. He's the one who just and he knows everything, okay? So he said Miley Cyrus was talking at the cloning center last night, saying that she's going to be needing songs and that I will be making them. And yes, this guy Donald Marshall, he claims that he made and wrote a bunch of these songs that these celebrities made, and they were all hits. He made a lot of these hits. That's what he claimed. Hit singles, okay? I said, no, I'm not going to be making any more songs. She said, yes, you will. I said, Miley, you are going to be in a lot of trouble in future for keeping silent about an alien body snatching crisis. She said, I'll just say I was scared. Aliens, hello. And she chuckled. I said, yeah, but how long do you remain silent? 10 years? 20? What are you going to tell people? She said that I was scared. I then said, are you going to tell people that your fear of Vril caused you to stand in front of me with a knife and demand songs or you'd stab me? She hesitated, looked around at the stands as if looking for an answer, then said, through gritted teeth with slitted eyes, you're going to die, motherfucker. And like a whisper, I said, that's some appreciation. She just stared at me and put on an evil smile. I said, I hope in the future, when people finally rise up and start cleaning the mess, that they burn you people, burn you in the street to death. They all went silent, as if I just told my family that I didn't love them and never wanted to speak to them again. Then they just stared at me like, oh my, I can't believe she said that. Then people seemed to be waiting for Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, to say something like, well done, we're going to have to torture you for saying that. She then said, perhaps we should burn you again, Dunn, for wishing an agonizing death upon us. Then the crowd started jostling and acting like, oh my, she's going to kill him. Oh my, oh my. Same type of behavior each time. Staged bullshit. A lot of them should be burned, and when people see what they have been doing to people from the shadows, everyone will agree. So, does that mean that every celebrity we see is actually a clone suffering under Queen Elizabeth's barbarous rule? Of course not. Not even the Queen Mother has the capacity to make that many celebrity doubles. But are most celebrities Illuminati clones? Almost certainly, yes.